Hey guys, welcome back to Nighty Night. This is episode 6. We do apologize for not posting last week. I was out of town, but we are back to our regularly scheduled program.
Yeah, she was out living it up.
I wasn't, but let's just say that for the views,
Yeah,
make them think I was doing something fun.
sure.
So what are we doing today?
So today we are going to go over 2021 predictions and see if any of them are accurate so far. We're about halfway through the year, I think.
It's the 8th month. It's the middle of August.
Oh shit, it is already. Okay, so we're a little over halfway through the year now.
We're towards the end of the year.
It's still kind of halfway. Well, we'll just see if any of
We all
them.
feel like we're kind of stuck in time, though. I think I told you that I felt like it was still June. Like, I
Yes,
knew it was August. I had registered that it was August, but in my
that you don't
mind,
actually think about it being August.
it's like, oh, it's still June. And then people are going back to school, and I'm like, in June?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, it's August.
I know it literally like I feel like especially the summers, like after you hit the 4th of July,
It flies.
yeah, because literally to me, the 4th of July just feels like it was just like 2 weeks ago.
Mhm. Shit, I'm still on Father's Day.
Well, I'm not
Anyway,
that far back.
so, I have to be honest, I thought this whole 2021 prediction thing was a bunch of bullshit, but I did read one in advance. I haven't read the other ones, but I did read one in advance, and I was kind of shocked at the outcome. So I'm a bit excited to get into this. Corinne did do the research.
Yeah, so if it sucks, you can blame me.
You can blame her. But real quick, before we get into that, so we do have a couple of viewers
Yeah,
that have been, well, I think it's obvious we don't have a ton. But we do have some returning viewers, and for them, we have a email. If you want to email us your ideas or your thoughts or something that you want to hear a story about, like conspiracy theory, a crime, a true crime story,
yeah.
what else?
I mean anything
Yeah.
really. Like if
Send
there's
us
just
an email
something, yeah.
at,
19nightpodcast@gmail.com.
yes, send us your ideas, your thoughts,
Or you can, we're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So,
and
and
YouTube.
YouTube, yeah.
Leave a comment.
So, yeah, you can, yeah, go follow us on YouTube.
We would love to hear some of your ideas.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it.
Okay. I found a few different psychics that made their predictions on various articles.
Are any of these Miss Cleo from the 90s?
No.
Do you remember?
Yes, I do.
Call me now.
I mean, she probably should still be alive, right? Actually, when you said are any of these, I thought you were going to say Sylvia Brown.
Is she still alive?
No.
Oh, R.I.P.
I feel like I think she died a couple of years ago.
Was your mom sad?
I don't know.
Okay, anyway.
But, so I think, like, the first couple I saw on, like, a Utah thing, like, these must be, like, Utah psychics.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if, like, Utah has, like, this, like, sixth sense or something. Yeah. But it seemed like a lot of them were from Utah. But
Okay, so this one is by Suzanne Wagner. It says people will be able to reconnect to their highest self and begin to gain confidence and trust in their own thoughts and abilities without the help of others. In regards to numerology, Wagner's insights share that 2021 is the year of feminine power with the number 5. She informs that the number is associated with the mysteries of healing, teaching, and the feminine arts. In the most positive sense, this number is about helping others, healing each other and the planet, and recognizing that to make big shifts, we need to work together. In the negative, this number will trigger some to move into selfish resistance and refuse to change. Stubbornness is the way they intend to hold on to power and feel strong in a rapidly changing world. Wagner goes on to say that January 20th, there will be some unprecedented problems scoring off. What happened on January 20th?
I don't know.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
Google
do
this real
quick.
quick. It was the day Joe Biden was sworn into presidency.
Oh, well, that's an unfair prediction, I feel like.
Yeah.
And also, I don't really feel like anything really happened.
No.
I mean, like, obviously people were, like, pissed or
He's
whatever.
the oldest president, though.
Oh, yeah?
78. Shit.
Sheesh.
Too, and I don't feel like doing shit.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was that old either. But have you seen that TikTok where those, I've seen it so many times and people will always do it, and it's like, it's one of his speeches, and he's like, if you go to the grocery store and you put spaghetti sauce, if you stack the spaghetti sauce up high, have you seen that?
No.
Oh my god, you need to find it and watch it, and people will like do what he's saying, like they're like in the grocery store like stacking spaghetti sauce. It's like the most random speech ever. Like it kind of sounds like, you know how when you see those videos where like people think they like have strokes and they're like saying random things. That's what this speech sounds like.
Oh.
The January 20th thing, I don't think that's a fair prediction. I think anybody, like I think,
Right, it was just a day.
yeah, anybody could have said that. But I kind of agree with like the feminine power aspect of it.
Go on.
Do you not? Or like, I just feel like it seems.
Surround myself, and not intentionally, but I don't surround myself with women that are about feminine power.
No, I don't.
So I'm not saying I haven't been like exposed.
Well, I don't mean it like that, but like, I mean, mostly like on social media.
That's what I'm saying. I don't really like
when you're like scrolling through TikTok, like you see people talking about all the time, like body positivity and stuff is really.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. So I feel like that could be, but I also kind of feel like that I could have predicted that as well as, you know what I mean?
No.
I feel like these aren't psychic predictions. I feel like these are just predictions that anybody could come up with.
General ideas.
Yeah.
The number 5 thing's very bizarre to me because I haven't noticed anything about the number 5.
Well, yeah, I don't know really much about numerology, but when I was like reading for this, like I saw a lot of people talking about numerology and the number 5.
We should look into it.
Yeah, so apparently there's.
Maybe we'll start seeing the number 5 now.
Maybe.
Anyway, that was boring. So the next one, I'm not going to read because I don't want to be associated with this human. So Corinne's going to take it.
Okay, so I included this one because I just thought it was quite ironic.
You brought up the point.
Yeah, that's why I added it. It's ironic. So Angie Vinicki says that, okay, so she did a bunch of different celebrity predictions, but they were all kind of like stupid. Sorry, Angie.
Yeah, you're listening.
But the funniest one that I thought, she did a prediction for James Charles, and she says that 2021 may not be James Charles's year. Angie predicted that next year, well, this year, 2021, will be a harder year for the beauty guru. Specifically, the YouTube star will face some sort of heartbreak.
Now, would that be heartbreak that we found out?
Yeah.
He was talking to minors? Or would the heartbreak be that he was in love with these minors?
I'm gonna say the heartbreak is
that we found out.
Yes, and that he lost subscribers.
And money.
Yeah.
YouTube doesn't do any money for him now. Do any money for him?
Oh, he's not monetized anymore?
No, they took it away.
That sucks. They also took away the show that he was doing for YouTube.
Yeah, which you loved that show, didn't you?
Yeah, I hope they do it with somebody else because it was pretty entertaining, actually.
I think it was like his creation, wasn't it?
Well, they said they were going to stop doing it with him. They didn't say they were going to stop producing it.
So they probably have to buy the rights from him.
Yeah, I think they might replace him. Yeah, it was actually pretty entertaining. Not necessarily him, but like, you know, yeah, I think his heartbreak was probably just that we found out that he's a
bug on a windshield.
Yeah,
he's put it nicely.
A sexual predator.
You were just waiting to say that, weren't you?
Well, he is, isn't he?
You like to feel like that Chris guy from How to Catch a Predator?
Yeah.
You are a sexual predator.
What are you doing here tonight, James?
With that 6-pack of, what's that wine cooler? Jamaican Me Happy? Seagrams.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And your
I didn't know they were 14.
and your condoms.
Those are for my friends. We're getting off track.
Yeah.
Okay. See ya, James.
All right.
The next one is by Rin Barrett. Rin.
Yeah, I kind of like that
I
name.
do like that name.
It's catchy.
Starting in early spring of 2021, friends and family will come together and understand the deeper value of their perceived connection. Overall, relationships will improve greatly, and then as the year progresses, it will dwindle back down. In regards to COVID-19, the vaccine will phase out the virus, and more individuals will attempt to go back into society. The new strain will not greatly affect our communities as long as COVID-19 precautions are taken into consideration. Biden's reign will not make any difference in anyone's day-to-day life. People will continue on with their regular schedules and not much will change. Life will go on. In 2021, there will also be a rising fear of technological advances. There will be people who do not understand the focal standpoints of the new developments, resulting in protests. In response, the government will then try to administer some sort of control over it. Elon Musk's
Neuralink
will also be successful in helping those who are insufficient in some way, like someone's who's someone who's had a stroke, paralysis, or cognitive disorders, fundamentally changing some people's lives.
And then this is like a side note because I had to look up about, I mean, I've heard about Neuralink, but I didn't know that it was a, like what it was called. But so I guess a Neuralink is a device,
a brain machine
interface that would be surgically implanted into your brain. And with it, you'll be able to communicate with machines and even control them. It could also help study and cure various medical problems. So apparently
I've never heard of this.
Yeah, apparently.
But go back up. Let's read this from the beginning. Okay. So she was wrong. So is that a man?
Yeah.
Or like Ren and Stumpy?
Yeah.
Okay. So he was wrong. So for the early spring, I definitely had a better connection with my family and friends.
Yeah, and I think that was just due to like
COVID.
Lockdown. Yeah.
Yeah. That dwindled very quickly for me in the friends department. If you know, you know.
I mean, and then he says
the new strain will not greatly affect our communities.
Yeah. I mean, I guess
looking at another lockdown.
Yeah, and I guess maybe it's too early to say if it's going to greatly affect us.
It already has greatly affected. People are mask mandate.
Yeah, I know.
Vaccines are being mandated.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's a shit show.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the numbers are pretty high now. I noticed they were really high in Florida the other day.
Well,
yeah, I mean, it's summer.
So I think it's pretty hilarious that Biden's reign will not make any difference in anyone's day-to-day life.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, my mother, who is a die-hard conservative, would greatly disagree with that. She thinks he is disrupting the entire universe. And, you know, we don't get political. We're not getting political on here. We have no political stance. Neither of us voted. Yeah. It's just the way it goes. But so we don't have any room to really judge what is politically happening in the world.
We're Switzerland.
Yeah, we are very neutral.
Yeah.
I think that there are a lot of people that would disagree that he's not affecting people's day-to-day life because anyone in a political office is pissing someone off.
Yeah, for sure. No matter what side you're on.
Right.
You're going to affect somebody's day-to-day life. Yeah, I mean, I think Ren was interesting. Oh, but I don't know if there's been any protests because of the fear of technology. That I'm unaware of. Are you?
I mean, that makes me think of, it's not, as far as the vaccines go, people are worried that they're putting chips in you.
Right, yeah.
And
yeah, I mean, people have been worried about that for a while.
I'm not saying that's why people aren't getting it. I know that is why some people aren't getting it.
Right.
But I know that's not why everyone's not getting it.
Right.
But the vaccine is definitely causing protests.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you consider that a technological advance, I mean, yeah. I mean, it says understand the focal standpoints of new development. So yeah. I mean, I guess that could be considered that. That is it for your local psychics, I guess. And
From Utah.
well, yeah. And I also did a little bit of research on Nostradamus.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, and I mean, I know who he is, but like,
Oh, it's a person?
yeah, but like, I never really like did like a good, I mean, I didn't even do a deep dive, but I never really did like a good dive into him. So, um, for you and anybody who else is unfamiliar with him, he was born in the 16th century and he was a psychic who used science to make his predictions. And he was like referred to as the prophet of gloom.
Ooh.
Because most of his predictions were always like, they were bad. They weren't, yeah. And he lived in France, but I mean, apparently from what I read, he traveled around Italy in like a state of depression after his wife and children died. And this, I guess, is when he discovered his gift of predictions. And he's predicted like a lot of stuff that came true, like the rise to power of Hitler, World War II, the death of Princess Diana, 9/11, and Hurricane Katrina. His book is in French, so I'm not going to try to butcher that, but it basically translates to The Prophecies, and it's a collection of over 6,000 poetic writings, all allegedly predicting future events. And the book was first published in 1555. And according to an article I read, 70% of his predictions have come true. Now, these poems are being translated by like historians and like, scientists and stuff. They're all like kind of translating them because he wrote them very cryptically. But according to him, the end of the world will take place in the year 2436.
That's very interesting.
So he thinks, now, like, again, these are according to what is, translated from his poems, that in 2021, a scientist will create a biological weapon and produce a virus that can turn humankind into zombies. Oh yeah, interpreted by astrologists. I'm sorry, I said historians. That one's kind of interesting. I mean, we're not zombies yet.
He's only got 4 months to go.
Yep, we could.
My next boyfriend's probably going to turn into a zombie.
Now, another one of the 2021s was a comet will hit Earth or will come very close. And I actually Googled it to see if it had. And there's an asteroid called 2014 SD224. And apparently it did shoot like right past Earth on Christmas Day. They kind of thought that it might hit Earth, but obviously it didn't. So I thought that was interesting. He also says a devastating earthquake will destroy California. His next prediction is destruction of the Catholic Church. He says that Pope Francis will be assassinated by shooting during a trip to a European city, and his assassination will cause social unrest and riots in Rome. The Catholic Church will collapse. The secret information hidden inside the Catholic Church will be given to the general public.
Now that I am interested in.
I would love to see that shit. Can you imagine the information that we would, like, there's no way that's gonna happen. Well, I'm not saying that won't happen, but there's no way we'll be able to know the information. Like, no fucking way. Or is anybody gonna let that happen? Because there's probably like, oh, you heard about Indigenous schools in Canada. Yeah. I saw like Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister, was saying that like he wanted like the Catholic Church to like release their records on the Indigenous schools and also the police. But like, yeah, fucking right. Like, the Catholic Church is not gonna, and if they do, it's just gonna be like stupid shit. Like, oh, the school was built this time, like it's not gonna be of anything of actual use. It's just so sad. And it just makes me so mad that like they found so many graves and like nobody's gonna pay for it. Like, it's terrible. But that was just like little side rant. So then I also went deeper and found Nostradamus predictions for 2022, and he says that the Russian president Vladimir Putin will be assassinated. It says he will die on a stormy night when he will sail on the sea and will be struck by lightning.
So he's assassinated by God?
Wouldn't that be a twist?
Because, like, when that tree fell on my parents' house for that one storm,
Yeah.
they told my parents that insurance wouldn't cover it because it was an act of God.
Really?
So that would be an act of God. So he would technically be assassinated by God.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I don't know if, I mean, that could be like code, like lightning, like struck by lightning. I mean,
Like,
it could
it's
be
a prophetic
shot.
book. So,
Yeah.
okay.
Maybe he got shot or like a missile or something. I don't know. So he also says that there's going to be a huge hurricane in France that's going to be causing fires and droughts and floods.
How does a hurricane cause fires?
I don't know. That and droughts also. I was confused by that too because I mean floods make sense obviously, but like and then he also says that artificial intelligence will attack the human race. Computers.
How long has that rumor been going
Yeah.
on?
Well, yeah, but this is.
Still.
I mean, apparently since 1555.
Yeah.
But it says computers will have brain power of a small village and will start to consider humans as intellectually inferior.
Well, that's true.
Well, I mean, yeah, compared to a computer, we are. Yeah, that's. I don't feel like that will happen in 2022. But I definitely feel like that's going to happen eventually.
Right.
But next year, I'm not sure about that. But
with all the horror stories coming out about how AI is bad for society, whoever is inventing it, wouldn't you think they'd be like, you know what, maybe I shouldn't be doing this?
I mean, you would think so, but I think that
some people just want to watch the world burn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, it leads to like more control. Mm-hmm. If like AI can do everything and you rely on it for everything, you have more control over.
Will AI go to work for me? But
maybe.
Give me the money?
Maybe.
I highly doubt that.
No, but like if we become dependent on any type of artificial intelligence, I mean.
Oh, I'm very dependent on Google.
Well, yeah.
When Henry asks me a question that I don't know, I go straight to Google and pretend that I know.
But think about it, like, all of our stores and stuff now, like, nobody uses, like, the old-fashioned cash register.
You know what? Do you remember when at Dollar Tree?
I knew you were going to say Dollar Tree because, yeah.
You just typed in
$1 times whatever, yeah.
And
yeah,
then the receipt was just that tiny little receipt that says you bought $36.
Yeah.
36
1 times $36, yeah. And then it always had your name on the bottom. Mm-hmm. I saved my very first receipt from there.
The person didn't want it?
No. I mean, apparently not. Or I just kept it. I don't know.
That's so weird.
Well, it was my very first job and it had my name on it and I saved it. I bet you I have it around here somewhere.
This is kind of like the Mandela effect, which I think kind of goes with this because we're talking about how Dollar Tree used to be just type in $1. That feels like it was a different life.
I know.
Like I was in a different dimension. And this is so off topic. You can cut this out if you want to, but with the Mandela effect, which haven't we discussed that on this, or did we plan to?
Yeah, I think we talked about doing it.
So I've been reading like all these like weird things that are going on in the world, and I sent you a TikTok about that guy's prediction that they were going to find a new Earth that could sustain human life and a bunch of other things that didn't end up coming true because it's been past the date and he keeps pushing the date back. And there's this one, and I've been thinking about it so much lately, but what island is Statue of Liberty on?
Staten Island?
No.
I don't know.
Close. It starts with an E. E-L?
Ingalls Island.
Ellis Island.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know it was never called Ellis Island?
What was it called?
I don't know. They renamed it. But they're insisting it was never called Ellis Island. And
really?
You know how you can go into the...
I saw that. Yeah, they say you can't... You've
never been able to, but there are people with pictures inside of it.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Is that not so fucking creepy?
Yes. Yeah, because, I feel like I've seen pictures and, like, people talked about it before, and then all of a sudden you just never have been able to.
So what I what I understood was that after 9/11, they closed it. And
Right.
you weren't allowed to go in it because it was like a hotspot for terrorists, which makes
Okay.
sense.
That would make sense, yeah.
So I thought maybe they closed it down in 2001 and just never let people
Right.
back on. But there were people from like 2003, 2004 sharing their pictures and their time walking up the stairs, looking out of the crown. Or was it the crown or the stick?
I think it was the crown, wasn't it?
But I mean, I saw those pictures
Yeah.
and they're saying you were
You
never
couldn't do
allowed.
that.
Do they think we as people are going to be like, oh, you're saying that, so it must be true? Or are we saying, I have physical proof that I was in it and you're still telling me I never was? It's like they're gaslighting us.
Yeah, I don't know. I completely forgot about that one, but that one is like legitimately crazy to me, along with pretty much all of the other ones though. But
But see, I think that just solidifies my thought in that Mandela effect is real and that it's not necessarily
like a
Mandela,
different dimension,
it's
it's
the
just
government fucking with
telling
you.
you, yeah. Yeah, because my biggest Mandela effect is the fucking
Bernstein
yes.
Bears.
Okay, when I was a kid, I was obsessed with the Bernstein Bears. Like, I had books and like toys, and like I watched the show all the time. Like, there's no and my mom read me those books. Like, when I was little, I remember, like, my mom was an adult. Why would she call them Bernstein Bears if they were called Berenstain? Like, I can see it as a kid, maybe I would not
Confuse
know
it.
how to say it.
Yeah.
But like, if
Sycamore.
he, but like I'm 5 years old. Obviously, I'm not reading. So like, if she's reading it to me and she's saying, "Yeah, the Bernstein Bears," like,
That's like if Cat in the Hat turned in like Cat with the Bat.
yeah, like that one messes with me big time because like, I don't buy it.
It's so trippy.
And I've actually seen pictures of like, I mean, I don't know how legit they are, but like I've seen pictures where people have like books, the Bernstein Bear books when they were kids, and it says Bernstein, not Berenstain. And that's so weird. What is like Berenstain? Like that's not even a name. Like wouldn't
It
people
doesn't even sound like a word.
people remember it was Stain?
How does the whole population say Berenstein?
Yeah.
Stein?
Berenstain.
I wasn't into it, so
Yeah. Yeah, that one, I hate that one. That one trips me out. But to go back to that TikTok that you were talking about earlier, where the guy said like they were gonna find like another like inhabitable
Earth.
yeah.
They did find one.
Well, yeah, that I was gonna say that's not surprising because I feel like that like especially like Elon Musk is doing all of this stuff like to get to space. And actually I was watching Mile Higher the other day and they were talking about I think it was Mile Higher and they were talking about that and they were talking about like the ocean, okay? Like so much of the ocean is unexplored, right? And like the Mariana Trench, like why don't they want to get down there and like see what's underneath our ocean?
Right.
Like people are spending so much money to try to, which yeah, I mean for sure figure out space too, but like isn't anybody curious, like, what's on the bottom of the ocean? Like, what's in the Mariana Trench?
Right.
Or Mariana? I don't know how you say it. But, so, I mean, yeah, that one I totally believe. I mean, obviously, that guy just predicted it and was like, nope, not yet. Do you remember do you remember that guy that predicted the end of the world and, like, do you remember what year it was?
No, it's been every year.
Well, yeah, but it was a really big thing that year because you remember people started like selling their
Camping out.
properties.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was like companies that were talking about like how they would take care you paid them and they would come and take care of your pets after you died. You remember
Why
that?
didn't the pets die?
Well, because it was like it was saying that like you were gonna like the worthy people or whatever would God would come down and get them and then you would ascend to like heaven or whatever. But so like people who didn't believe in God would still be here.
Oh, okay.
So like people that were saying they were like atheists and stuff were like, we're still gonna be here, we're not going anywhere. pay us and then we'll come and take care of your
And
pets.
people were paying them?
Yes. And people were like selling off their shit, like their houses and their cars. I remember seeing a billboard about it in town actually. And then like the day came and went, obviously. And then he pushed it back again. And then, that day came and went. And then I think he was like, well,
Fuck that up.
yeah. I can't believe you don't remember that. I don't remember what year it was, but it was like down on like 33. There was like a billboard down there about it.
This all happened in town?
Well, it was the whole world.
Oh, okay.
Or the United States. I don't know if it was the whole world.
That's the thing. That people think the world did end in 2012. That's why people
Oh, that's what the Mandela effect is.
Well, that's especially what's about the
Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, people are saying it ended and that we are kind of like stuck in just an alternate universe.
Limbo. Like we switched dimensions or something. I don't know. I guess I really don't know what it would feel like to like dimension hop. But like, wouldn't we notice more than just like little tiny glitches?
Okay, so while you're talking, I couldn't remember the whole thing. I read it in a Facebook thread, but I knew it had to do with like Mandela effect, and all I could remember was the Statue of Liberty. But I just found this article, and now I'm remembering that it claims that we were sucked into a black hole, and then scientists placed us all in a simulation, which is it's not taken seriously. I hope not. I joke that we're in a simulation because it just life is getting a little too weird
Right.
for my liking, but I do think it's kind of comical to think that we could be a real life version of The Sims, and whoever is playing me fucking sucks.
I know, it's almost like it would be like, how when you'd get on The Sims, like you'd create a family and like you'd play with them for a while
And then you
and
just
like
leave them.
yeah, and then
My
you just make
boyfriend
it
has left me for the last 5 years.
family.
They made me get divorced. They gave me a kid, and then they were like, "All right, World of Warcraft is back. I'm playing that instead," and just fucking abandoned me.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I don't believe in the simulation theory, but like
it is funny to think about though.
that's what I was gonna say. I enjoy, like I thoroughly enjoy the theory because it's pretty interesting, but like it's not one that that I really buy into. But it is pretty interesting to hear about.
Okay, so we were apparently sucked in a black hole, and
Right.
now we're living in a simulation, and that is where the Mandela effect was created because the worlds were different. But we are still the same. We still have our same parents, the same house, everything seems the same, but everything's just a little bit off.
I wonder when like the Mandela effect like
It
official
says
like
it
got
was
its name.
initiated. So I don't know. I don't remember hearing about it until recently. Not like this year, but I mean like within the last maybe like
10 years.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which would align with 2012, which is when
Right.
they're saying we got sucked into a black hole.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say now the reason why the Mandela effect was created was because of Nelson
Nelson Mandela.
Now, I fully thought he died in prison. 100% thought that. Did you?
I didn't pay much attention, so I have
You
no
don't know?
recollection.
I swear, like just with everybody else, I do remember hearing that. Like some people are
But
like,
he
no,
didn't. He died
no, he died way
in,
later.
in like 2000.
Yeah.
Okay, so it says it tries to claim that so it's saying that time travelers disrupted the world, and that these time travelers have images from being in the torch of the Statue of Liberty. Images that are taken from the live camera that's already up there. Awkward. So, but the pictures I saw of people in the Statue of Liberty were like tourist
Tourist
people.
people, yeah, like regular people.
Like it wasn't staged. There might have been one person smiling, but the rest of people weren't even looking at the camera.
Yeah, I don't. I also like. I would love if time travel was real. If I had any superpower, I would want to time travel. But I just don't. I
But
don't believe
why?
it. Why would I want to time travel?
Yeah.
I would just not. I don't want to like future travel. Like I'd rather go like to the past.
Okay.
I think it would be so cool. Like you don't think it would be cool to like
No.
like go back like you know when your mom was like 5 and like just see like what she was doing. Like,
Okay, when I think about people time traveling, I think about them going back because they're romanticizing a time. Like, they always romanticize the 1950s. The girls wore cute poodle
right.
skirts. They cooked dinner for the man. They
Yeah.
shared milkshakes together.
Yeah.
But, like,
That's
it was a
movies.
really gross time.
Yeah, that's like movie
And
stuff.
we're still dealing with really gross times. If this is better and it still fucking sucks, I don't want to go to when it was worse. I don't want to
Yeah.
go to when Jews were being killed for being
No.
Jewish.
I like no, I wouldn't want to really go back for like bad stuff. But
But
like
the whole, but the past history is
well,
all sad.
yeah, no, like
Sure, you could go back and see like Frank Sinatra perform, or like go to the very first Spice Girls concert.
ooh,
I would like to go back to the 90s.
yeah.
Um,
Well, I would just like to go just to like I would be like really interested in like, what was my grandpa's life like when he was a kid. I mean, it was probably really sad, but like it would be interesting. And I would also go to Woodstock.
show your boobies. Would you show your boobies?
No. Well, I
You'd be the only one with a shirt on. Remember that Woodstock movie we watched with your
yes.
parents, and I was so awkward?
No, I don't remember watching it with
The
them.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame,
Oh,
that film they had, and
yeah.
there's boobs everywhere, and I was like, well, this is awkward.
I know, but like it just looked so fun.
Everyone was
And
high.
I know, but like there was like do you realize that there was like no violence during that? Like it was like the biggest like concert ever and there was no like fighting. Like a couple people died, but I think it was like I think
Overdose.
yeah, overdose a couple. But or no, I remember reading one was like an overdose, like one guy like passed out drunk or something and got run over by a tractor. But
These
anyways,
times.
but like
See,
it wasn't like
I would
if
want.
they did that now,
Mhm.
people would just be like dying just because like
They'd shoot
somebody
each
looked
other.
at somebody the wrong
Yeah.
way.
Um, I would want to go in the future when I would probably be too old to like recognize what was going around me and see Henry.
I would 100% not want to go to the future.
You wouldn't want to see what Judah looks like?
No, because what if you're not around?
Yeah, but then
Like what if you go to the future and then like you find out like you or like somebody else like died and then you're gonna know when they died or when this bad thing happened, so then your whole life you go back to real time and your whole life you're like, oh fuck, only got 5 more years. That would be terrible.
I don't know. I'm not like into, so many people are into time travel. I don't understand it. I don't understand the fascination with going back.
See, and if I was gonna do it, I'd want to be like invisible.
Well, right.
Like I don't want to be like a real person walking
Right.
around on the streets. Like I just want to like invisibly float around
Right.
and see what's
See,
up.
invisibility or ability to fly would be my superpower.
Yeah.
Invisibility would be cool, but to be able to like fly to the fucking beach for the day,
Yeah, like oh, I want to go to Paris today. Like,
yeah.
let's go. Yeah. No, I mean that would be cool. Yeah.
We
I
are
just
so
think,
off topic on this episode.
yeah, that's okay.
Anyway, do you think that we're in a black hole right
Reopen.
now?
No.
Because that would have to be one big ass black hole to take all the planets with it, the sun, the moon, and all their stars
Well, space is never ending. It goes infinity.
and beyond.
Yep.
Anyway, we're all over the place tonight.
Yeah. Well, we talked about we wanted to do a Mandela effect and
And well, we
we
did.
just stumbled across it.
I had fun.
Yeah, that
A
was
lot to
fun.
think about.
Yeah.
I'm
I don't
curious to
think
see how the next 4 months play out.
yeah. I don't think any of the psychic predictions are like super accurate. I mean, the generic ones, yeah,
The
but
James
like
Charles one came true.
it did, but
But the big ones, those are the ones that I want to put my money on
yeah.
if I
Well,
had any money.
the the only ones I'd put my money on is like Nostradamus because he's got a pretty good track record. I mean, predicting all of those
Predictions.
like 9/11 and
Hmm.
yeah.
We'll see.
Well, maybe he's still alive and he's the creator of The Simpsons.
Oh,
That would be some
you're
crazy
opening another
shit.
book of worms
I know,
there.
the fucking Simpsons,
I
dude.
know.
Like,
How did they do it? How do they do it?
how do they do it? I have a theory on The Simpsons.
What is it?
Um, I think the like creator of The Simpsons, like obviously not the one that you see like, written on the screen at the end or the beginning, whatever. But like I think like somewhere deep down and like the maker of The Simpsons is like,
A time traveler.
no,
Oh,
no. No, I don't think time travel's real.
okay.
Um, I think it's like a government, like somebody in the government or like somebody in our like, five families or whatever, like somebody rich and powerful that like knows that these
How would
things.
they know what Kamala Harris was going to wear the day of inauguration? Did you see that?
I did not see that.
Lisa Simpson gets elected as president, I believe, and she's wearing a purple suit dress with a pearl necklace, which is exactly what Kamala Harris wore.
Well, um, so if this, let's say this theory is true. Okay, let's say there's these powerful, rich and powerful people that are kind of making these episodes. Then they're the ones that are electing these people.
Right.
So then maybe they would just say like,
Wear this.
yeah, because that's another thing that I fully believe. I fully believe that we're not actually electing our presidents. I feel like they're already chosen for us.
Right. You did say that.
Yeah. Don't you kind of think that? Like they're all there for a purpose,
I
for
guess.
somebody else's hidden agenda?
But I think everything has a purpose, so that's kind of a double-edged
Well, I mean,
sword.
everything has a purpose, but like, I'm not talking about a spiritual purpose. I'm talking about like a governmental
I don't know, man. I try not
purpose.
to get stoned and think about the government. That's what this conversation sounds like. Like we got really high and had all
Like
these
high
deep, dark
thoughts.
questions. Um, I really don't fuck with the government. They scare me. Um,
I mean, I don't fuck with the government either.
I genuinely don't want to know what they have done or what they're capable of doing because I would just lose all faith in humanity. I know they're shitty. I know that. They get paid way too much just to talk their shit, sit in their mansions, fucking laugh at the laugh at the
For
poor, eat
people.
with the rich.
Yeah.
I know it's all corrupt bullshit. That much is obvious. It doesn't matter. It's who's the least worst out of all of them.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, genuinely, I think the only person that hasn't sold their soul is Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, because
And that's why he's not getting elected.
yeah, I agree with that. I think that that's why they kicked him out because he wasn't backed by anybody.
Right.
And like that's another thing when during the last campaign when, it was Trump and Hillary and like I feel like we've all seen the pictures like we all know that they're friends or they were friends at some point. I mean,
Right.
he's talked about her, like how great of a person she was, and like
Yeah.
there's pictures of them together. Like I fully believe even when they were like doing their debates and they were like pissed at each other, like
They were still friends.
they probably like called each other like, "Hey, that was a good one.
Yeah.
You got me good."
That was a good burn.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I really try not to. I would lose my mind. And we're going to have an episode coming up about conspiracy theories.
Yes, I'm excited for that one.
The government comes up, of course,
Oh yeah.
in conspiracy
How
theories.
could it not?
So I guess we'll see how I feel then. But I also steer clear of conspiracy theories just because they really suck the life right out of me because they're depressing, honestly. It's just
Yeah.
the world is crazy. Anyway,
Yeah.
this has been an hour-long episode. Let's wrap this up.
Okay. Well, thanks everybody for listening to
Going into our
episode 6.
stoned thoughts here.
Yeah.
Even though we are weed-free,
Yeah.
we say no to dope.
I think we're just tired.
Very.
Starting to get delusional. But let us know what you guys think. And like Amy said, send us an email or,
A comment or a
yeah,
message
let us know what you
you want
want
to
us to
hear.
talk about or give us your thoughts on all of these predictions and the Mandela effect. Like, which ones really get your goat?
On that, we're going to say good night. Have a great week, and we will see you next week. Nighty
Nighty night.
night.